Maybe it's a bit soon, but now looking back at the relationship, can you now see that okay, there were things that were not that I ignored, right? And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see in a relationship where he was clearly moving mad.
Are we talking about the show, or are we talking about just in general?
In general, now, like looking back in your relationship, because obviously now let's because obviously we're
I would
aware
have to
now
say
of
this. No,
yeah.
I would have to say this. Let me answer that for you. It really took for this show for me to figure out what was going on, because it's not ideal. I think I take all the comments, not all of them, but I stopped reading. I try to anyway, but I'm still a human being. And for me, this, like, when people say things like, "Did they just get together for the show or whatever?" What do I get out of being on national television to get embarrassed by him? What do I get out of that? You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody signed up for no ignorant stuff. The goal was to figure us out and not to be disrespected. Now, at the end of the day, if you want to go mess around, by all means, go do it, but don't do it under my roof. Don't do it while you with me. And for it to come out the way it did, I think that it more so hurt me to the core, because anybody that knows me, anybody that was with us when we were filming, anybody that was actually here knows what that day did to me when I had to go meet with Dr. Nicole and do my one-on-one and talk about what happened. I showed up like looking crazy. My hair was out of place. My makeup was all over the place. I was crying the whole time. Like, that whole scene took, it was probably 4 hours. I was hurt. But at the end of the day, I get upset and I get frustrated because you don't know me. I get it. Make your comments, make your judgments. It's off of what you see. I totally understand it. But also, I want people to understand that when Darian's on his dates, I don't know what he's doing. I'm not there. So just like y'all are watching it, I'm watching it. Besides the time that, I saw her grab his hand. But them other days, I don't know nothing about what they talked about, what they did. I only know what he come back and tell me at home, and I only know what he comes and says in group session. Because there were things that weren't shown. There were parts in group session where he was like, "She's helping me in Alexia's relationship. If she kind of shows me how to deal with Alexia, like, basically like the help." And that was talked about in group session. It just didn't make the edit, and I get it, because there's only so much time you have. But I personally am frustrated every week when I watch this.
Mm.
Like, you can talk about me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my appearance. You don't have to like how I walk, how I talk, how my mannerisms. You don't have to like none of it. But trust me when I tell you, Darian is not the only person that loved it. It don't stop no man from trying to talk to me. So say what you want, make your judgments, and I'm fine with that. But also understand that I'm not no idiot. I wasn't born yesterday. Why no one gives me applause for not having a kid by him? But you just want to bash the fact that he's playing in her face and all this stuff. I don't know this stuff. So it really, for me, took the show or somebody to record it and send it to me, like hypothetically, if there was no show. Because I never had solid proof. But it's different when you actually have the proof. Now the ball's in your court. What are you going to do? Now you have a choice because you know.
So earlier on I asked you, and I appreciate you sharing that as well. I
Mm-hmm.
agree with you. We want to uplift you. I think most people are not actually okay. Some people might be saying about the show. I'm not really
Mm-hmm.
focused on
Oh,
the show, as in
sorry.
you not realizing. That's right. You're not realizing on the
Mm-hmm.
show. I think what we're saying, because I'm taking your words, and maybe you didn't mean it this way. So you said, bef- up until now, you've not had proof, which
Never
would
had proof.
suggest the terminology of the way you've just worded it is, up until this point, I never had proof, which means beforehand you had suspicions. You just never had proof.
I just never
And I
had
think the
proof.
question I'm asking is not the proof, but the suspicion oftentimes. And if the suspicion has been going on for a long time, and you've
Mm-hmm.
been hearing things in the wind when you were younger, people say this, people say that. Now, yes, you've seen some people throw themselves at him. He's a rapper. It's going to happen. I think what people are seeing is like, okay, so why didn't this make you start the charge of investigating? And then I think you said as well earlier on, you said, um, I haven't got time. I'm focused on my career. I'm focused on my business. I'm focused on what I'm doing, 8 to 5. But it's like, I think that's
I
where people
never,
are
let me tell
missing
you, I
you.
never had,
Yeah.
no, because I'm not the typical woman that's going to wait for you to put your phone down and go through your phone. I'm not the typical woman that's going to just be all over you and figure it out what you're doing. If you tell me, and I have trust in you, that this is what you're doing, that's what I choose, that's what I'm going to believe until you give me a reason not to. And when I say not to, I've never had anyone approach me. I've never had someone just say, "Hey, I'm dealing." I ain't gonna lie, take that back. I had like two DMs before, like two
Yeah.
or three. And one of the people that hit me was someone that he would even show me the message was trying to talk to him. It was a situation like she hit me, oh, your man's trying to talk to me. But then when I saw the actual messages, she threw his number out. She was trying to mess with him. And it was a, hey, I have a girl. Oh, you not married? It was those type of situations. So I would always take everything like that. You know what I mean? So I never really had a situation to where it made me think like this man's really doing it. Now, like I just said 10 times, when we're 19 or 20, I don't put nothing past nobody. Even if he supposedly was telling the truth, if I heard that he was doing something, I just like, look, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to do it. I ain't got time for it. You're older than me. You're in a rap group. I get it. I ain't got time for it. So that would be the break. We try to figure out the break. And that's just what I chose to do. But also making the decision moving forward, I'm older. I'm an adult. We're mature. He has kids at this point, three of them at the time. So it's like, let's figure this out, if that makes sense.
So what did you do with your? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I want you to correct me.
Mhm.
What do you
Oh, I
do
will.
with the if this is right? What do you do with the suspicion that you may have had with no proof? Where does that go?
For me, because I promise you, it's not like trying to have an scapegoat of
No, no, I don't think
not.
you have an escape,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
dumb
yeah.
for this either. By the way, this is not
Right.
what we're saying.
I
Yeah,
just got a lot. I'm a busy person, man. I work 8 to 5. I
yeah.
give back. I have camps every summer. I am in marketing when it comes to marketing some professional athletes, WNBA, NFL players. My phone constantly buzzing, and kind of you saw a snippet of it, but that was his issue with me. That I have so many male friends, and that I'm always busy, and that I'm always doing this and whatever. I like to make money. I like to live a certain
Come on
way,
now.
and I like to live a certain way. I don't like to depend on nobody. So I move how I move, and I have my reasons to move and how I move. Even when me and Darian were broken up at one